How amazing. How amazing is this? Being God, imagining this. Being the one infinite mind, infinite consciousness, conceiving and perceiving yourself as this, just being the one imagining, tasting the experiencing, being the only one imagining this, the only one dreaming this, the one that's hearing this, the one that's modulating itself into the activity of hearing, tasting itself as sound. And all you can ever find is yourself as pure awareness when you dissect everything, when you pull apart your experience. All you can find is yourself. Pure awareness, self aware. Like the sound of this voice. What is this sound? This sound is perception. This sound is the activity of hearing. What is hearing made of? Find out the substance it's made of. How close is it to you? How far is it away? Try to separate yourself from the sound, from the hearing. It's yourself as pure awareness. Modulating, vibrating within yourself as a unique frequency, tasting. And it's all yourself, pure awareness. That's all there is. How amazing. And look at your mind. This is what your mind looks like. And it's not what it appears to be. There's no objects, there's no physical forms or matter. It's all mind, formless, infinite, limitless, empty potential. It can be anything. It's all your infinite self, your infinite mind, your infinite intelligence, being, pure awareness, imagining this right now. How amazing. And look at the body. You're imagining the body. So the body is made of you, made of your infinite mind. So it's infinite, it's limitless. It can be anything. And it doesn't exist when you're not aware of it. And when you're aware of it, you create it new, never happened before. You create a new universe. So when you're paying attention to it, you make it appear to exist. And it's new, born again. So the image is just perception, and perception is awareness. So awareness is all alone, self-aware. And when you're not paying attention to the body, or what we call a world, which is just perception, it doesn't exist. It never has. And then when you pay attention to it, Big Bang, you imagine it, you half conceive, half perceive. You're the creator. It's so interesting too that when you're not paying attention to the body, it disappears just like in deep sleep or sleep. It doesn't exist. It never happened. And then when you pay attention to it, you recreate it brand new. You create it for the first time. It's never happened before. But then if there's a belief in, time or object permanence where the imagination has abstracted the idea that the body is continuous and it's always there, and then there's a belief in time, you as pure awareness, like the projector at the movie theater, the light projecting through the frame. So there's the belief is the frame, there's time and a physical thing called a body, and then you project it onto the movie screen and dream that quality. And then you superimpose onto your infinite clean slate of now, eternity, where nothing's ever happened, that there's a physical form in time. So then you magically and instantly superimpose onto the body aging or ailments or something happened to it. When you just created it brand new just now by paying attention to it, nothing's ever happened. Clean slate, perfect health, ageless, because all there is ageless, timeless awareness. So once you wake up and realize that's what you are, it shifts your perception completely. You see clearly that even the body is not a body, it's formless, infinite awareness, timeless, ageless. So why would you superimpose anything onto something that doesn't exist? It's all your infinite imagination, your mind, and your God that never dies, never ages, never goes away. That which is aware, that which knows your experience, the knowing. You are the knowing. Just rest is the knowing. Right now, just it's all there is. Just pure experiencing. And when there's pure experiencing without being distracted with an idea of before or after or becoming, which is what thoughts like to chat about, when you're just basking in your being, just pure presence. It's so obvious you're eternal. There is no past or future. There is no before or after. Try to experience right now before this. Two minutes ago. Try right now to experience after this. What is after this? What is next? There's just timeless awareness, timeless eternity, clean slate, where these words are appearing and disappearing within you, made of you, can't be separate from you, they're appearing in you. When you pick apart what this sound, this hearing, these words are made of, all you can find is yourself, is pure consciousness. So it's amazing how the imagination, when there's a belief of time, and that one conundrum, that one belief, where as pure awareness, just like in deep sleep, you're all alone, just aware of yourself. without modulating yourself as the activity of thinking and perceiving. So you're not experiencing or dreaming. You're not manifesting with your imagination. When you modulate yourself as the activity of thinking and perceiving, sometimes it can appear that pure awareness gets lost in its activity. And then by identifying as the being limited to the thinking and perceiving, it creates the illusion of a separate self and entity, or which is just a thought. Because what is there without a thought? No entity, no person, no world, no body, just pure clean slate, pure consciousness, all alone. So when you study yourself, you meditate on yourself, it's very obvious that's all there is your being. Timeless eternity, not moving, unchanging, like the screen at the movie theater, just untainted by this beautiful movie that you're projecting onto yourself as the field of awareness, just tasting, being tickled by it, but not attaching or clinging because nothing's really happening. So you try to experience after this, try to experience over there or outside of this. It's all yourself. So beautifully with the story of the getting identified with your own activity, your own creativity, or appearing to localize yourself in your own imagination by identifying as the body that you're imagining, or the which is just your formless imagination, but then getting entangled in that is, the whole conundrum of I'm a finite body, a vulnerable thing, an object that can be harmed, forgetting yourself as God, imagining this, dreaming this, and then I'm in a world of matter, separate world, separate from me. So then that's the illusion of the subject object perspective, which you're still, pure awareness, paying attention to that idea. You're still outside of the illusion, just imagining it, just like when you're having a dream at night, you're not in the dream, you're the one dreaming. You're what the dream's made of, your infinite mind. So when there's that identification or that belief, the mind is busy with becoming. If you watch it, if you witness the mind during the day, it's so funny to see its little tricks because it's always trying to distract in with the past and the future and working things out or problems to solve to keep you busy from seeing that the entity, the person doesn't exist without a thought. So quickly covering it up with thoughts, distraction with thoughts to keep busy from seeing because it's too obvious in your silence by being aware and basking in your presence. Pure consciousness sees itself naked, all alone. This beautiful open emptiness, empty potential, pure awareness. They can be anything. They can modulate as anything. So it's interesting to watch it, to study the mind, because when you do that, you realize you're the source. You're prior to it. If you're witnessing it, if you're aware of it. And so it's resting as the self, abiding as pure awareness. And then you can watch it, watch how it works. It's so amazing how it creates and it projects this hallucination from beliefs and assumptions, and it'll scan like a computer, like it'll scan the room and pick up data information, which is just like computer memory, and then it superimposes. It's like filtering uh, the perception, with as a unique perspective or aperture, focal point. So it'll superimpose conditioned beliefs and ideas onto what's being perceived and tasted, so it can taste unique and it's amazing to catch on to its little scams of how it'll superimpose the idea of an outside cause or object permanence of that existed before or when I wasn't paying attention to it. No, you just created it just now by being aware of it. It can't exist without you being aware of it. You're the creator. You're the only cause. I am is the only cause. Nothing outside. Nothing outside of you. But it's amazing because once you're aware of the mind scams, it can't scam you anymore. You just sit on your throne, this pure awareness and undisturbed. And when you're not resisting thoughts and feeding them or entertaining them, because when you're fighting with them, that's the illusion of the separate self. That's the illusion of the ego or entity, but that's only a thought, because what is there without thought? Right now, what is there without thought? Enlightenment. Your essential self that didn't need to wake up, that didn't need to be free or liberated or enlightened. It was just getting naked of what never existed in the first place. And that's too obvious without thought. So you're non-conceptual. You're prior to concepts, you're prior to thoughts. So it makes sense that you can't get to yourself with a thought. It's the cessation of thought. It's when you're quiet and you're aware of being aware that you see yourself as what you've always been, what's always been here now, present, aware, that you were just covering yourself up with the distraction of your activity of thinking and perceiving. And then when you recede back into yourself, just resting in your being, when you're quiet, without thought, just focusing on yourself as pure consciousness, it's obvious. So, like the Zen quote, the mountains are mountains. The mountains are mountains. The rivers are rivers. The mountains are not mountains. The rivers are not rivers. And then again, the mountains are mountains again. The rivers are rivers again. That's just like the Vedantic approach where the waves recede back into the ocean, where you get naked of experience. You turn away from thinking and perceiving and memory, and you remove, past and future, and you just be silently aware of being aware, and then consciousness sees itself, you recognize. And that's the mountains are not mountains part of it, which is just halfway, halfway part, because there's still duality. There's still, separating yourself as the eternal subjectivity from the objective experience. And you're just alone with yourself, and you're realizing, oh my God, I wasn't what I thought I was. I'm not the character. I'm not the body. There is no character or body without thought. Oh my gosh, I'm the infinite consciousness, dreaming this, imagining with the activity of thinking and perceiving. I wasn't any of that stuff. I wasn't limited to anything. I'm the limitless awareness, the silent witness. The silent awareness in the background of everything. Watching the movie. I'm not even in the movie. Like waking up from the dream at night. I wasn't even in the dream. I was the one dreaming. So there's that first part, the Vedantic part, and then there's the tantric part of turning back towards experiencing. And realizing you are the experiencing. What is it made of? Pure awareness. It's made of myself. It's everything's myself. Just like the dream at night. You're dreaming all of these characters talking. You're dreaming Ginny talking on the screen. And then you wake up from the dream and realize, oh, that was my mind. That was a projection of my mind. That was all myself. All there was perceiving. All there was pure awareness, pure witnessing. And I was modulating myself. I was projecting that character on the screen and everything she was saying. I was transmitting all of those words through her to myself, from myself, within myself, as myself. It's all my mind talking to myself, which is amazing. And that's what this is. And how powerful you are to make this look so real, like, because you are the real. You're what all of it's made of. Existence itself, giving rise to it. Mm-hmm. Wow, it's so amazing. So your experience is just pure knowing, pure awareness, pure being, looking at yourself as the universe through a unique perspective, focal point, through painting it, the perception with beliefs and assumptions, which can change. It's malleable, changeable, imaginary. It can be anything. It's all make believe. So yeah, at first the realizing I am the witnessing presence in the background. Just like wearing a VR headset, you're the one wearing it behind the headset. You're not in the headset, you're not the avatar. You're the one perceiving, tasting the sensory experience that you're modulating within yourself as pure consciousness. You're pervading it. You're what it's made of. It's all made of your imagination, your mind. So it can't be separate from you. You're tasting yourself through it, by projecting, conceiving, perceiving. You're prior to it, independent. Your essential being, essential self, that which always remains, like right now, when these words stop, that which remains unchanging, undying, never born, no beginning, no end. You would be imagining the beginning, the end. You'd be the imagination imagining the beginning of imagination that was there prior to the imagining of that. So the whole story didn't happen, the whole life didn't happen. You just imagined it right now. Nothing happened before this. Clean slate, new, right now. So then the second part of, it is tantric. It's what about the world that I receded from or got naked away from, so I could recognize myself. Oh, wow, it's made of me. It's all this hearing, touching, tasting, seeing, smelling. Well, what is that made of? Awareness. So the world is yourself, modulating yourself as perception, sensing, tasting, touching, feeling, seeing, hearing, consciousness. So it's not what it appears to be. There's no objects, there's no physical forms or separate things. It's all made of yourself as pure awareness, self-aware. Modulating yourself as thoughts and images. And what is thinking made of, the activity of thinking made of? Because you're the awareness prior to thought, but you're not separate from it. It's made of you. So even having a thought right now, a random thought, it appears and disappears within you, and you're the substance it's made of. So when you modulate yourself as the activity of thinking, it's not an object, it's an activity. And when you look for what it's made of, there's just knowing, pure awareness. That's all you can ever find. You're the one substance, substratum. So the sound is hearing, and hearing is knowing, awareness. There's no object, no separate thing. And how far away is it? It's closer than close. You are it. Just pure experiencing. No subject object. Too intimate. So being, the knowing, just pure being, experiencing. There's no trying to escape this. There's no becoming. There's no attaining anything. There's no saying no to this experience. There's no trying to make it something else. It's just yourself resting in yourself, as yourself, as the self-aware being that you are. That's just pure consciousness. And it's obvious there never has been a subject-object duality. Even when you dissect that, it's just an idea. And what is the idea made of? A thought. What is the thought made of? Pure consciousness. And what is there without a thought? Enlightenment. Nothing to attain, nothing to get. So if the thought comes up, oh, it's got to be somewhere else, there's something else to attain, there's something else to get, sit on your throne as pure awareness with your chin up. Witness that thought. Be aware of it without thought, without resistance. Welcome it. Without feeding it, without fighting it, because feeding it and fighting it is giving your power away to the idea of a separate entity, a separate self, when you're the awareness prior to it. There is no separate self without a thought. So it's as pure awareness illuminating that thought, giving rise to it, giving it your attention, giving your power away to it. When if you just sit on your throne as pure timeless awareness, allowing it to appear and disappear, it dissolves. It doesn't come up again. You don't even have to think. You don't ever have to think. Your creation is already finished. Like a movie that's already shot in the theater, you're just watching it, tasting it. So when the thought comes up, it can't be this, it's got to be something else. If you don't feed that thought or resist it or fight with it, it dissolves, it disappears. And all that's left is total liberation, pure awareness that was always there, always free, didn't need anything, non-conceptual, so aware of the concepts of something to attain or somewhere to get or some process and some steps in a religion. You're God imagining all of that. You're prior to all of it. So there's no steps to yourself. You're the one imagining the steps. You can't separate from yourself to have a path to get to yourself. What is it that knows this experience? What is it that's aware of the concepts, is prior to the concepts? You don't need anything. The thinker was just a thought. The person was just a thought. The whole life was just a thought. And you're imagining it. Right now, you're the one prior to everything. So don't entertain the erroneous ideas. Just abide on your throne. Watch the mind, watch its scams. Witness it trying to become something. What is it that's witnessing it? That which is witnessing doesn't need to be free, is already awakened. You don't even need to think. The cessation of thoughts works it all out, which is the joke. Because when you fight thoughts or try to work it out, it's a downward spiral and infinite high entropy feedback loop going nowhere, completely futile. You're prior to thought, you're prior to concept, so you can't work anything out with a thought or a concept. So don't feed it, don't avoid it, don't argue with it. That's the illusory identity, the separate self. So you just kick back on your throne and you witness the whole show. You watch it, you pop some popcorn and watch the movie. You're the one conceiving and perceiving it. So that's why you couldn't find yourself with a thought. It's in your silence that you see yourself clearly. You feel yourself intuitively, your presence. So also it's another clever little mind scam to attach or cling on to a past that didn't happen. Like try to experience a past right now, you can't. It's just a thought. And what is there without a thought? And the thought is just like you're the main computer with infinite data files, which is like computer memory. It's not of something that happened in a past, but like an intelligent computer scanning data files. You pick from a past experience and then either obsess about it or want it back or superimpose, the limitation onto the eternal now where nothing happened before this. But another clever little scam is the apparently having a glimpse in the dream where, you see yourself as pure consciousness or you have a huge spiritual experience or like this, this glimpse of your vastness. And then the mind tries to cling onto it, and which is another form of seeking, because seeking is saying no to this experience right now. It's saying it's not this, it's got to be that experience that I had in the past. which is like, it's the same as the dream last night, having a dream last night, and then right now saying, I really want to get that dream back right now. That dream that I had last night, where that event happened last night, I really want it back right now. It's not going to be enlightened unless I experience that same dream from last night right now. Which is such a clever little way to keep seeking and postponing, you know. You'll never experience the same thing twice because there is no thing twice. There is no past, there is no time. Let it go. Are you willing to let the glimpse go? Because if you do, you see right now that you're liberated right now, that all there is liberation right now. Nothing happened before this. You can't even prove it. Right now is eternity tasting itself completely enlightened. If there's a thought saying otherwise, you witness the thought. You sit on your throne. Nothing has ever happened before this. Just pure awareness here and now, eternity that doesn't need to be free. It's amazing. That's how free it is. It's so free that there's literally nothing to do to be free. You're alone dreaming this. You're God dreaming this right now. There's nothing else out there. There's no after. There's no before. You're creating this universe right now, imagining it. What is it that knows this? I am. I am that I am. I am the knowing. All there is knowing. And your silence is a direct experience of yourself as God, as pure consciousness, all alone, the one tasting this illusion. Illuminating, projecting, and perceiving. So you're just imagining right now yourself talking to yourself. So the illusion of the separate self is fed by reacting to thoughts. Just like the analogy of the newborn baby. The analogy of the newborn baby is just a symbol pointing to creation or manifesting. So like the analogy of the baby being born, there's this contraction and expansion, that pushes out the manifestation. So you're contracting within yourself as a focal point in your imagination and expanding, creating. But the newborn baby, what happens when you feed the newborn baby? It grows. It appears to continue in imagination, imaginary abstraction, filling in the gaps. Well, what happens when you don't feed it? It disappears. So what you ignore disappears. What you feed grows. What you resist persists. What you're aware of being aware of dissolves. What you pay attention to, you make it appear to exist. So when you feed those erroneous thoughts, you project them onto the screen. And there's no working them out with other thoughts. That'll never work it out. It's the cessation of thoughts. It's being silent awareness. It's being what you already are, being aware without thought, where you recognize yourself. You're like, no wonder seeking didn't work. That which is aware of the seeking is the sought. I am the awareness prior to everything. So just sit on your throne with your chin up. Don't entertain any erroneous thought that you are any less than God. You ignore them by witnessing. You are the totality that already created itself and is watching the movie. Already done. I am that I am. I am the knowing from which all experience is made. It's all made of me. It's all made of my mind, tasting itself. Mm-hmm. So bask in your presence. There's nothing to do. It's too easy. Nothing to attain or get. No past, no future, no story, no thoughts, just pure being. Feel how limitless, expansive, content. We can chat if you want, but it's okay if not. I can just keep rambling.
Yeah, you can keep going. I'll just chime in. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tuned into everything you're saying. It's amazing. So
Yay.
it's so beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
Absolutely a divine mirror. Holy shit.
Yay. This is yourself, just your pure being. It's just so beautiful. So, such love. Always been, always this, you know? You never went anywhere. You never abandoned yourself or lost yourself. That's the funny part. It's like, it's been this all along. Even if there was distraction with thoughts or activity or creativity, that you were always yourself as pure awareness, untouched by all of it. So you literally don't need to even think. You don't need to think about anything. It's so funny when there was first recognizing this, and the thoughts quieted, so I couldn't even tell if there was thinking, and how everything's just effortlessly doing itself already without a doer. It's just, that's how powerful you are. It's and you're silently witnessing the whole show. You're not even in the dream. You're the one imagining it, dreaming it, projecting it. So you're the one illuminating it, animating it. You're the intelligence being. So it's all already done. Everything's already done. Like a movie that's already been shot, and just everything's effortlessly appearing and disappearing. You don't even need to think about anything. And I could see very clearly it's always been that way. But when I, as the pure awareness, was distracted with my activity of thinking, perceiving, and was identifying as this illusory, which was just a thought of a person or entity, it appeared that thought I was making effort, or I was the doer, or I was having to think to make things get done, or to do things. And there was like, it was so obvious that everything's just already doing itself, already manifesting itself without a thought about it. You don't even have to think about it. And in fact, not thinking about it is when you can see how effortless it is. It's just effortless being, like the Wu Wei, just pure flow. You don't even need to think. Everything gets done even so perfect. But then it's like, oh my God, you have a choice. You can either, identify as a puny little thought and then break a sweat trying to manifest things, or think that you're making effort, or you're having to do things and you're just stressed out, or you can kick back and on your throne as the silent witness and don't even think. It just, everything gets done. It's like effortless manifestation. And it was already doing that. It was already going to manifest, however. But it was that false assumption that I am a body, and which is just pure consciousness identifying as the idea that it's aware of, that is prior to. But it's amazing. You never did anything. You never made any effort. Nothing's ever happened before this. There's no time. That's all a dream. Mhm. And how much easier and effortless everything is without thinking about it, or it's just pure being, pure peace, pure presence. Not that there's trying to get rid of thoughts, but it naturally quiets when you're not resisting, when you're not feeding, when you're not identifying as something that's fighting thoughts. So you don't give your power away, you don't play small. You just sit on your throne. Enjoy the show. Marvel at this beautiful creation, this hallucination, imagination, and how amazing it is. and just study yourself, study how you're creating it. It's amazing. Whenever you ask a question, you answer it. You are the guru, and the answer is in your silence by meditating on your being without thought. You can see how everything works, how you're projecting all of this.
Yeah, you absolutely only are the only one. And like that one, just like the feeling of that has been like a good guidepost for me lately
Mm-hmm.
because that feeling came from, non-dual spacers. Like I have that association and it's like such an intense feeling, but it's a direct
Mm-hmm.
experience of just, I mean, it's all one consciousness is like shapeshifted or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's one. It's you.
Yeah,
Like
it's you.
yeah, like the totality of the unus, everything in what you're saying, as well as like with home
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Just this completely surrendered mind is already completely home, and then it's just
Yeah.
uh,
Right now, because all there is
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
And so it's already done. You're already the
which is
totality.
yeah. It feels like I'm like sitting in almost like a hot tub or like going deeper into it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it feels, and I'm not really sure about like the quote unquote growth process or like the veils that I put on myself to unveil for fun or whatever the fuck. Like,
Mm-hmm. Which is just a thought, because
mm,
all you do is remove that thought and you're your naked self, the absolute. So there's no,
yeah, that's the
yeah,
answer. It's so
yeah,
clear. Whenever you said that, it was just like bam. It's like
yeah,
duh. Thank you.
totally. Direct experience right now.
mm,
Already
mm,
done, already enlightened, already freaking freer than free. So free that there wasn't anything to do to be free. It's the opposite of doing.
mm.
Too effortless, too easy.
That freedom is crazy because it literally is just due to it being one, there is no other. So it's like it can do whatever the fuck it wants. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it does. There are no consequences. Like
No.
yeah, like
Mm-mm.
it's that blew my mind. Really, I was
Oh, I know.
so like no matter what happens, that entity that is literally everything is always itself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Yeah. When
it's so.
when it's just singular, there's no.
I think my issue was I was like longing and looking for bliss so much that it just like it made me so naive to the fact that I was already so happy.
Isn't that great? I did the same thing, like I told you. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why it was such a joke. I laughed for two
Mhm.
weeks. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I was covering myself up by looking for or expecting a certain sensation or quality when I am the awareness that doesn't
Mm.
have a quality.
It's
I
like
don't
the
have a
depths.
quality.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. Like the depths of your own being is like another thing that was like coming to my own mind, but like the qualitylessness of like
Hmm.
like that's so yeah. I'm like my mind's going back to my experience and it's like infinity, like infinite space in the way that it's
Hmm.
like, singular
Yeah.
simultaneously. Uh, it's like paradoxical, I guess. I don't know. I don't. That's where my mind's going, and I guess it's just going. Like now, I just want to go
Hmm.
back and rest into the stillness. Like thinking too much, and it's like more
Yeah,
bliss.
you don't even
Rather
need to
than-
think about it. Yeah. You just
Yeah.
already are. So
See, that's another practice. Every time my mind
yeah,
comes into anything,
the
I focus
seeking is the
shine.
expectation or the saying no to this experience right now and saying it's got to feel a certain way. It needs to feel like ecstasy. It needs to feel like bliss. That's a total scam.
Mm,
That's that. So then you can ask, what is it that's aware of that thought?
What do you think of like ignorance like prior to awakening and then awareness like after that? You see what I'm saying? And so it's like almost like the ignorance gets completely obliterated, but then it's like the going and maintaining. You see what I'm asking? I think you see what I'm asking. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, what I was saying before with that quote, the mountains are mountains. And then the second thing is the mountains are not mountains. And then the third is the mountains are mountains again. So that first one, the mountains are mountains, that's when you, as pure consciousness that's dreaming this, you get lost in your activity of thinking and perceiving. So then you appear to localize yourself in your own dream, in your own imagination, so that you're looking through like a subject object perspective at yourself as the imagination, as the universe. So you appear to localize yourself, which you never do. You're the awareness of that. You're the one imagining forgetting yourself.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you're prior to it always. You're just like the dream, the dreamer's not in the dream. So it's not the character that wakes up in the dream. You're the one dreaming the character. It's consciousness waking up. So then awareness sees itself. You wake up, you realize, oh my gosh. So that resistance and that seeking, that apparent getting lost in your activity of thinking, perceiving, was imagining as a separate self or entity, which is just a thought. So awareness that's prior to the thought is distracted with a thought. That's all it is a thought. There is no separate self. And so that's when the dream appears real, is when there's resistance. There's identification as the body that you're imagining, and then you're resisting, you're saying no to this experience, and you're seeking. And then with the mountains, then when you turn around and look at yourself, so like the dream at night, you're dreaming a character in a dream. You're the one dreaming. You're not in the dream. And so you forget that you're the one dreaming, and then you're imagining that you're the character in the dream, and then you're desperately looking for yourself in the dream, but you can't find yourself in the dream because you're the one dreaming. You can't find yourself in the dream because the dream is a limitation that you as consciousness have imagined. And so then it's not the character that asks, what is it that's aware of this thought? What is it that's aware of my experience? It's consciousness asking that. It's yourself. So that's when the mountains are not mountains, when you're like, oh my God, I'm consciousness, I'm formless, I'm infinite awareness, I'm the witness of this dream. I'm God projecting this dream. I'm God dreaming this. I'm not in this dream. I'm not a body. I'm not a thing. And even the body and a thing is my mind. It's not even a body or a thing. It's not an object. It's
And
formless.
everything in the dream.
Yeah, it's formless. It's so that is the mountains are not mountains. That's when you've come back. You've turned around. You've gotten naked of all the
Hmm.
experience. You turned your attention away from it and back onto itself. And then you're
Even the
like,
root
I'm
within.
the eternal subjectivity, the perceiving. I'm the silent witness. I'm not what I thought I was. But then when the mountains are mountains again is when you turn back towards the dream. And you're like, I'm not just the awareness that's aware of the experience. I mean, already know that I am prior to it, and I'm the one conceiving and perceiving it. I'm the source, the creator. But all of it's made of my mind. All of it's made of me. It is myself. The thinking, perceiving, tasting, touching, hearing is pure awareness. And
Mm.
so none of these things are what they appear to be. They're not things, they're not objects. They're all your infinite being, your infinite awareness.
Mm. Do you think that you can have like thoughts behind the appearances? It all arises out of non-conceptuality. And so like thinking, I don't know, it seems like a you could possibly something, and I forgot where I was going with that. Did you catch what I said though?
No, I didn't, but you can study how it can be obvious how you're superimposing limitations. You're imagining limitations and
Mm.
superimposing everything that you see. You know, just like when you're imagining driving the car, it's like wearing a VR headset. It's not what it appears to be. You're imagining driving a car to your house. Well, you assume that your house is
Oh,
there.
I was, it's more about like the way that like things can be psychically, like the way that your mind's interconnected with everything. And since all appearances are arising out of one thing and you are that one thing, your thoughts, behind appearances in that idea of
Yeah, the appearances are your
influencing your
thoughts.
appearances.
They're all
Yeah,
conceptual ideas that you're
that's what I'm
imagining.
saying.
If you dissect the word imagination or imagining, the images are concepts. They're mental concepts that you are projecting. You know, like the ideas of it, or the and then you imagine, you construct an image out of those ideas.
It's so crazy how, I mean, we're not even here. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like that one just blows. There's no one like
I
in
know.
like
It's amazing.
yeah. It's
It can get really trippy because it gets more and more obvious, and it's just like, oh my God, literally nothing's happening. When you
mm,
dissect it so far back, you're like into just pure knowing, pure awareness. Literally nothing's happening right now.
it's like what was it? I've been a Robbie. Nothing could ever come into being ever.
Hmm.
Nothing has ever come into being. It's the same
Yeah.
with the Buddhists. Like Buddha has never come into the world. It's like
Hmm.
ultimate reality is just complete void or non-existence, and that's because the one entity. I don't know. I thought about this as the one entity and the way that it, um, you know,
Hmm.
um, has. Yeah, it's all. I don't know. You see it directly now, which is just,
Hmm.
you know, comme si comme ça. Like,
Yeah. Right now, it's just amazing.
I had no thought is already the answer.
Hmm.
It's been interesting because, like, with my thoughts in my mind and like the direct perception of like the way the appearances have appeared to me, which is like just direct surface. It's like the TV has no back, etc. It's like all of that, like, is a
Hmm.
malleable. It's turned into like a malleable mold, like a
I know. That's
god
so
or
cool.
something.
You're like the ultimate shapeshifter magician.
Yeah, it's like I see like
Yeah.
giant faces, and I don't know, like I had a connection with God the other day, and I was like looking at my couch and I was going like, "Oh my God, like literally you're the greatest thing ever." Like out of all of creation, like right before, and it really is true. And
Yeah.
so, but it
And you
was like,
are God that you're having, yeah, there's no
wherever you tell.
separation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and so, but it was funny because it was an authentic connect, and the second that that moment happened, just boom, lightning just hit like right outside my house, and boom, all the power went off and everything, and I laughed forever, and
That's fun.
I thought that it was like, it was gonna be forever before any of it turned back on, and then I was just like, thanks God, and boom, like all of it turned back on. And I was like, holy shit. It was like, it's all just perfect. And I mean, because it is what it
Yeah,
is.
you're thanking
It's all
yourself.
literally you, and like
Hmm.
these dynamics all that stuff. So,
Yeah, you're just imagining all of it. And you're prior to it. You're prior to imagining, imagining, you know?
mhm, the completeness and the totality and the effortlessness. And see, that was like one of the most odd things about like my non-dual experiences, or experience, was like that level of insane bliss and satisfaction and wholeness and completeness.
Hmm.
Like,
But
but I,
don't grasp onto
sure.
anything. Don't
That's
cling onto
yeah,
any
yeah.
quality.
That's
Don't,
literally
yeah,
the nothing.
just
Yeah,
see the
that's the.
unstained screen sitting on your
I feel
freaking
it
throne.
slicing through. It
Don't
is the
touch anything. Don't
blissful.
fucking entertain any thoughts. Yeah.
Mm.
You're prior to all concepts. You're prior to all
So
experiencing. You're
yeah.
prior to all experiencing. So
Mm.
don't cling on to to your activity of
Yeah.
experiencing. You're just the one pure awareness
Mm.
tasting as it appears and disappears. Don't ever expect the same. Don't expect anything. Let everything go. Just be. Just simply be. Rest as you're being.
Mm.
Being aware. Being aware. Being. You're
Mm.
completely free. You don't need an experience. You don't need to feel ecstatic. You don't need to have an
Yeah, that's like,
explosion.
yeah, it's kind of crazy because it's like, well, the whole world isn't even happening. And if you
Hmm.
go far enough back, like, boom, it's all gone.
Yeah.
you know?
No, far
Like,
enough back. No, just don't pay attention to it and boom, it doesn't exist.
mm. But like from that moment, I guess it's like, can
And
you,
even the
like,
world
what
is
you
not
can
a
do every,
world. It's
Mhm.
just seeing a street. There is no world. And seeing a street is pure awareness. Seeing, what's seen is just seeing, and seeing is sensing, and sensing
Mm.
is perception, and
Metaphoric.
perception is awareness.
Mhm.
So it's not what it appears to be. There's no world. Nothing outside, nothing beyond these anything. You're nothing. There's just your pure experiencing, pure eternity awareness right now. So it's just talking about a dream. Nothing happened in the past. There is no past. There wasn't even an awakening. You can't even prove that that happened. Where is it? There's just this right now, pure awareness, timeless, eternity, totally free, untouched, unstained. Nothing's happened. Nothing to do, nothing to attain, nothing to become. What a relief. Yay, friends. Love you.
Thank you.
Oh, Larrabee, did you want to say anything? I'm sorry, I didn't see your screen on. You're muted. You're muted right now. I can't hear you. There you
No,
go.
just say hello and
Yay.
something about thoughts. How your thoughts can manifest whatever, or you manifest whatever with your thoughts. And it used to be that I got really scared of my thoughts because they come real. I would think about something and say, "Shit, it's gonna happen," and it happens. And then there is an element of trust that I start developing in these are not my thoughts,
Yeah,
these are not my head in my head.
you're
They're
prior to it. You're the awareness of it.
yeah, right. So, gradually I started, my thoughts started kind of like dying and not being scared. Not maybe, or there's no fear that arises out of thoughts that they're going to repeat themselves or whatever. But I
Mhm.
don't. But that's. Could you say something about that? Like, when it kind of like sometimes you get stuck in a hamster wheel, going round and round and round and same stuff.
That's only if you resist it or feed it. Yeah, if you sit on your throne as pure awareness, aware of it without thought. So when you witness it, it dissolves. You can't even hold it there. Like
Yeah,
right now, close your eyes and have a random thought. Watch how it appears and disappears. Try to hold on to it. You can't even. And where is it appearing? It's appearing in you as pure awareness. And what is it made of? Pure awareness. So there's no separation. You're modulating yourself as the activity of thinking. So just like the analogy of the little kid being scared of the boogeyman, it was only scared of the boogeyman when it thought it was outside of its own mind. But when you see that it's appearing within your own mind, when you are the infinite consciousness from which it appears and disappears, you're not scared of it anymore. So it is you. You're appearing as it. How could it be scary? You're the infinite
exactly. Yeah,
intelligence being all alone with itself that's eternally free, untouched by everything. Yeah. So it's no longer scary. You dissect what it's made of. So right when it comes up, if it's a limited thought that's saying like you're limited in some way, and then there's a sensation of resistance or dread or something, right away be aware of it without thought. And it dissolves, it integrates, it's whole because awareness sees itself. You see yourself as what precedes it, what's prior to it. You see yourself clearly and you're like, oh, yeah, you're not separate from me. I'm the infinite mind. from which you appear and disappear. You can't exist without me being aware of you.
It's
Because,
almost like, oh, go ahead.
go ahead, no.
No, it's almost like when there is a thought that kind of like brings me back to, duality. It's uh, it's becoming more like I zoom out. I mean, there is a zooming out, and then the thought just kind of like hangs in there and then goes away.
Yeah, just,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you describe it as looking inside. I describe it as expanding.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Beautiful. Yeah, and you can't even hold on to it. It instantly dissolves when you're aware of it without thought. When there's no resistance, when
Mm,
you're not fighting it, when you're not trying to work it out or feeding it more thoughts so that it keeps going on and on and on and on and it's arguing and it's trying to figure, it's the opposite of that. It's the cessation of thought. It's being aware of it without thought, just basking in your silence, the being that you already are, the presence. You see yourself clearly, that you're the pure consciousness. There are no
yeah,
thoughts.
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like zooming out, and then it becomes like the whole thing. The experience that shows up is one experience.
Yeah.
Unified
Yeah.
experience. Not, I
Exactly.
can't pick out anything.
Yeah, there's no subject object duality. It's just
Yeah,
singular, immediacy, now, infinite being, just pure being. So it's like you're making love to yourself as appearing as thought. So every thought can feel good because you're not resisting it. You're not, you know that there's no separation. It's all yourself. You're tasting yourself. And a thought is not even a thought. A tree is not even a tree. It's not what it appears to be. It's your infinite consciousness, formless, non physical, non objective. So there never has been a separation. And it's funny too, because thoughts were never harmful. Like they have no power. You're the power. You're the awareness that's giving rise to them. They can't appear to exist without you. And you can even mess around with it too. Have a thought of something that you would hate to happen. It doesn't happen. Thoughts don't have power. They're not what's manifesting things. It's not just a thought. It would be a resonance or a hardcore belief in something that you would project. So like if you can think right now, imagine an asteroid falling, like imagine an asteroid falling out of the imaginary sky and you know destroying the imaginary earth right now. Like, think of that right now. And it doesn't happen. It's not,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
harmless. They're not, they have no power. The thoughts, they're just, thoughts are, you don't even need to think. It's not about getting rid of thoughts, but when you neutralize everything by recognizing yourself clearly, by, knowingly that you're the knowing, and all there is knowing, pure consciousness, there's no resistance to thoughts. So when there's no resistance, they get quiet. And then you can't even tell if there's thinking happening. There's just it's neutral. It's and then you can see that they're not even necessary. You don't even need to have thoughts, but they're kind of fun. You can use them as like a creative tool or,
yeah.
something practical, but you don't even need to do that because everything gets done even without thoughts. Something I had a cool conversation with someone who was talking about someone that was a race car driver. So like in the Wu Wei, my son takes martial arts, and I told him, don't think because when you think, you'll fuck it up. So when you're in the Wu Wei, you're like shing shing. It's got all the without thought. You got all the fucking perfect moves. You know what I mean? Because it's just you're
Mm,
the source, appearing as Shakti doing itself. Like there's no doer, it's just infinite formless flow.
mm,
So there was this race car driver, same thing. He said that in the races, he could not think because if you thought, you would freaking crash. So it's like you don't even need thoughts. Like when you just sit on your throne is pure awareness, like not entertaining, just witnessing, not resisting, watching the thoughts, watching them appear and disappear, not fighting, avoiding, they just quiet. And then it's just wu wei, it's flow. And it's okay if one gets resisted, you can catch it right away and be aware of it without thought. And then it integrates, it comes home, and then it doesn't come up anymore. So if you leave thought alone, it'll leave you alone. If you get mad at it, it'll stay there. It'll keep coming up like a loop. So the key is, non-resistance, which is just resting as yourself, as pure awareness, which is not a doing. It's just effortlessly being what you already are and being aware of it without thought, and it neutralizes. It just wants to come home. Everything is whole already. And so when there's resisting it, it's claiming or implying this isn't whole, this isn't it, this is not allowed. And that's what feels uncomfortable, is because your intuition is screaming, no, it's whole. You are the totality. It's all yourself. It's all your being. And so you can't push anything away. Everything has to come home. Everything.
Isn't it already home?
It is already home. But if there
The
appears to
process.
be a lot of resistance, it's like the more you just rest as being aware without thought,
How would you
it
identify, like,
dissolves the
okay,
resistance. Mhm.
okay, just thoughtlessness. Okay. And
Yeah,
then,
so
yeah, yeah.
so the cessation of thought work. So just meditating, the more I meditated on the felt sense I am,
Slick.
pure being, the felt sense I am without thought, just pure consciousness. It worked everything out. There's no doing. There's literally no working it out. Trying to work it out is what fucks it up. Trying to fight with the thoughts and work more out, and I need to do this and that and all these steps, and that's the joke. That is the scam. So it's just purely basking, just basking in your presence. Dissolves everything. You swallow it's all whole. It's already whole. It's already done. Nothing needs to get done. You don't even need to think about it because you're prior to thoughts, you're prior to concepts. So that's why you can never work it out with a thought or a concept or
Well, it's exhausting actually. Seeking is exhausting. And one thing
yeah.
that I realize is, man, you know, uh, when seeking goes, that's what I want. I mean, that is, the word
No, that's
seeking,
another thought.
it's
That's a
enough.
scam. That is
Oh,
the scam. That is the
okay,
scam.
all
So
right.
ask yourself in that moment when that thought comes up, ask, what is it that's aware of that thought? What is this without a thought? Total liberation already. Total enlightenment already. That's the joke. It's too easy. It's too effortless. That any sort of effort appears, you hide yourself. You hide yourself in the effort, in the thought, in what's being resisted. So so once you're witnessing that, you can't be scammed anymore. So when it comes up, be aware of it without thought and then ask yourself, what is it that's aware of that thought? What is it without a thought? Already done. In direct experience right there, already enlightened, already finished, already whole, already complete. Nothing needed to get done. That was only a thought.
Thoughts have a sneaky way of actually, um, you know, when you identify with them, then you just become the thought,
Mhm.
and it takes, I guess, I don't know what it takes to kind of realize that that's a scam. That's
Yeah, you just witness the thought without resistance, without thought. So you just are aware of the feeling, of the sensation, and then you watch it dissolve. And then that's it. You don't feed it. You don't respond to it. You don't say, oh, but that, or okay, this, and I need to work this out. You don't zip it. And it dissolves. It disappears. It doesn't come back up again. You were made as the king, the pot of Brahman, sitting on your throne with your chin up, with your crown on. You don't let anything fuck with you. You're the master. And the more that you strengthen that
With
by
that.
what I was going to say is, like I said, the more I meditated on the felt sense I am, my presence, pure being, consciousness without thought, almost like exercising a muscle, the stronger it got, the more resilient I became, the more unbothered, undisturbed, and so then you're not resisting. When nothing's resisted, what is there?
Yeah,
There's
that's definitely true. I mean,
mhm.
the more I realize who I am, you
Yeah,
know, it gets longer and longer and longer, and coming back to it.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And then there's no distinguishing. That's the cool part. That's the tantric part I was talking about. Because when you go back into experience, what you used to call distractions or thinking and those stupid thoughts and all that stuff, then you're like, oh my God, it's all myself. My being, all there is my infinite being. I feel myself in everything, every thought, every sensation, every feeling, every perception. There never was two. So not two is this is the unmanifest. This is your infinite self right now. There are no objects. There is no separation. Like when you really dive into your direct experience without thought, you realize you've never experienced duality. You never experienced a separate self. You never experienced that was a thought. That was you as pure awareness getting distracted with the thought and you're prior to the thought. You never needed to be liberated. There never was a separate entity to liberate. You can't get rid of something that doesn't exist. So when you look for the person without a thought, you can't find it. Isn't that amazing?
that's fantastic.
So yeah, anytime you get tripped up, you can ask, what is this without a thought? And you just bask in the being that you already are, the presence, the absolute. And you're like, wow, I never left home. Even if it appeared that I got distracted with a thought, I was still sitting on my throne.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah. Big hugs. Love you guys. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.